focus specifically on the statement you made in regards to the first thing with the Canadian Armed Forces Suicide Prevention Strategy to implement it with ministerial oversight committees, and you mentioned Somalia. Sir, I'm very involved with our veterans on the issue of mefloquine.
Oh, yeah.
And we are still hearing from the powers that be that it's only 1 in 11,000 that are affected. Our own Minister of Health has recently, as of February 22nd, written, with respect to the continuing use of mefloquine as a malaria prophylaxis, the department considers that the benefits of mefloquine outweigh its potential risks under the conditions of use described in the CPM. I'm hearing from veterans from Somalia, from Rwanda, from Uganda, from Afghanistan, Bosnia, that have been taking this, that make it very clear that they did not have the freedom of choice. Our allies, Germany, Britain, Australia, the US, have taken steps, and yet our government still doesn't recognize what happened in Somalia and is carried on. It's impacting suicide rates, and I know from what I'm hearing directly from veterans. Can you please talk?
I was a year on mefloquine.
Yes.
About 5 months into it, I wrote to National Defense Headquarters, and I said, this thing is affecting my ability to think. This thing is blowing my stomach apart. This thing is affecting my memory. And I want to get rid of it. At the time, the Germans weren't using anything. But then when we lost 2 people in 48 hours to cerebral malaria, they changed their policy. But I then got a message back, which was one of the fastest ones I've ever got back, which essentially ordered me to continue, and if not, I would then be court-martialed for self-inflicted wound, because that was the only tool there was. Mefloquine is old think, and it does affect our ability to operate. And those statistics to me don't really
accurate.
hold water. And even if it is, what if it's the commander who's affected by it, which I was at the time? And so my executive assistant kept an eye on exactly how I was handling that mefloquine. And so there are other prophylaxis that are much better. And just on the command side, let alone on our ability to respond to the very complex scenarios in which we find ourselves, when you're facing children and so on, and you've got seconds, nanoseconds, to decide whether you're going to kill a child or not to save other people, you want them, we don't want them to have any booze, yet we're still being affected by maybe a drug that is.
So what do you say then? We should be doing the studies to determine.
I say get rid of it and use the new stuff.
Thank you. That's the faster route I would love us to take.
Yeah.